Have you ever wondered how verdant vistas are maintained in the wild without human architects? Meet Lonesome George, the last remaining Pinta tortoise, a species responsible for maintaining the vegetation on the island of Pinta. Pinta is an island the size of Manhattan in the northern reaches of the Galapagos. Despite being less than 1% of the surface area of the Galapagos, Pinta is host to a third of its terrestrial plant species. This is a result of the careful curation carried out by the tortoises whose digestion is poor, allowing for seeds to travel around the island. The Pinta tortoises enjoyed a diet of leaves, cactus pad, and guava before being reduced to a single, lonely tortoise. The cause of George's loneliness isn't that the Pinta tortoises were hunted by humans to extinction, like so many other species that are on the brink today. No, the Pinta tortoise had an usurper, one that could fill its job as an ecological engineer with brutal, gluttonous efficiency. For more than 2 centuries, the Galapagos have been under siege from the devastating force of goats. Mariners brought goats to the Galapagos in the 17th century as a source of fresh meat. The goats were unattended, and before long became feral. These feral goats consume voraciously and indiscriminately, leveling the brush at upwards of 2 kilograms per day per goat, with each goat being able to breed within a year of birth. On the island of Pinta, 3 goats in 1959 became 40,000 by the 70s, creating a veritable regicide of the local flora. This posed a threat to the island ecosystem, and by 1971, the government was sponsoring the wholesale massacre of goats by aerial assault, slaughtering hundreds of thousands over the next few decades. In the next decade, over 41,000 goats were removed from the island of Pinta alone. For the Pinta tortoise, it was too late. Despite being able to live for up to a year without food, the Pinta tortoise was driven to starvation and extinction. With the tortoises and goats gone, Pinta was left without any grazers to keep the vegetation in check, which would otherwise overrun the island, decreasing biodiversity and making it impassable. Thankfully, researchers in the Galapagos had a plan to correct this trajectory. Pinta was repopulated by sterile Galapagos tortoises from zoos around the world, giving Pinta a grazer. Weighing over 90 kilograms, 5 of them are as heavy as a grand piano, allowing them to trample vegetation and create clearings. Compared to the goats who kill the plants that they graze, the tortoises are inefficient, but gentle architects. Lonesome George died in 2012, and is back in the Galapagos stuffed for visitors to see. But Pinta is far from a lonely place now, representing a major conservation success. The greenery in nature is molded not by human machines, but by 4-legged engineers that transform landscapes. The tale of the tortoise and the goat teaches us that there's more to conservation than how we directly interact with the environment. We learned that we also have to pay close attention to ecosystems subject to these titans of ecological engineering.